Welcome to Sweet Triple and thanks for stopping by the channel. Today we're at Thunder Road in Gloucester checking out the Honda Hornet or CB750. This is an awesome middleweight bike with plenty of character and plenty of torque, and definitely a decent contender if you're in the market for a middleweight bike in 2023. This bike comes with everything you'd expect from a modern sports bike, and it is in a really decent price category as well. Super torquey, engaging and nimble, and I had a smile on my face the whole time I was riding this bike. In terms of specs, this bike has Nissin 4-pot calipers on the front, dual radial. It comes with a Nissin single pot on the rear. This bike's kitted out with the sports package that includes the SC Project exhaust, fly screen and pillion seat cover. And all round, I think this bike has absolutely got everything you need.
Quite a friendly, energetic little bike. Very impressed with the brakes. I believe they're Nissin on the front, potentially all round, but no, they're decent. Yeah, the steering is really nice and positive. Definitely a bike worth trying, I think. If you're looking for something middleweight, bit of a happy shopper, you know, it's not hideously expensive. I think it come in around 8,000 at the minute, or 7,599. Real good value. I mean, you can certainly feel that. You know, the switch gear, the cockpit is reasonably low budget. I really like the 5-inch TFT dash. It's all customizable. You can change, you know, how your rev limiter and your speedo is displayed to you. You can use the different bars, or you can use this kind of needle gauge. With this sports pack, I do like this little screen they've got up front. Does it do anything? Absolutely. Really doubt that. That is really more for show than anything. A token gesture at wind protection for sure. The mirrors, all I can see out the mirrors at the minute, and I will give them a bit of an adjustment, is my elbows. So they're not particularly effective. I do find I have to dip my elbows in to actually see out of them. When I'm in a normal riding position, yeah, I'm just staring at my elbows. I do know you can get wing mirror adjusters for that, or potentially you can get yourself bar end mirrors. Definitely not intimidating, and for those of you that might be considering this as a first big bike on an A2 license, this bike is restrictable down to A2, so you can get it restricted down to, I think it's 47 horsepower. As a first proper bike, I think you couldn't go too far wrong with this. In terms of power, I was expecting it to be fairly underpowered, but it's got a really nice surge of torque. And the SC Project and exhaust sounds fantastic. I think for those of you that are a little bit on the taller side, you're going to find this bike a little bit cramped. Yeah, it's you definitely are kind of stuck in one position on the seat. Would I take this to a track day? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's not going to be as focused as a more, you know, sportier bike like the Street Triple, or a full-fed sports bike. But yeah, absolutely. You know, I know some riders that would be able to drag me around the track on this. So it is to do a riding position. It is fairly upright, reasonably high pegs. You know, you can get in and, you know, chuck down if you wanted to. But for me, this does encourage a bit more of a lazier ride than the Street Triple for sure. Put it straight in sports mode. I'm gonna stick it into standard, and I instantly can feel that the throttle response is just a little bit lazier, really. If this was my bike, I'd probably never put it in anything other than sport. Rain again is gonna, you know, give you a bit more traction control to the rear wheel. There's a user defined ride mode here, and that it lets you set all the different parameters. This thing's got traction control, ABS, it's got wheelie control, which some might say is a little bit overkill, but it's there. And you know, Honda are making a concerted effort to throw technology at this bike, so that cannot be a bad thing. Value for money, this bike is really good. You know, I believe it's cheaper than some of its rivals. Would I buy it? I'm not sure, simply because I'm looking more for something that will make me go faster around the track. You know, I'm probably looking into something more like a litre sports bike at the moment. However, if you're looking to get a naked sports machine, you know, this is a proper decent bike here, and it isn't going to break the bank too much. So this bike is just over 90 horsepower, 90.6 horsepower. It's got a 270-degree crank, parallel twin engine, and the character of the engine is really nice. Behaviour in town, you know, at 30 mile an hour, the throttle is not snatchy at all. It is really nice and smooth. It's got a blipper. And it does sound good. I would definitely be putting the sports pack on this. It comes with the pillion seat cover. It also comes with quick shifter, blipper. Oh, and I'd definitely be putting the SC exhaust on it. It sounds great. It's definitely got the power to easily get past traffic when you need to. It's not a slow bike. Moving around on the saddle is a little bit tricky when you're trying to throw your weight around on the bike. I'm really enjoying this. It's not intimidating at all, and it does feel really planted. It's got 120 millimeter tyre on the front and a 160 on the back. This is really fun. Awesome little bike, actually. The more I ride it, the more I love it, actually. He said I could take it out for an hour. I was like, nah, I'll probably be 30-40 minutes. I might end up taking liberties on it. I am really enjoying this bike. So in terms of its stats, it's a 755cc parallel twin, 270-degree crankshaft. Kicks out just over 90 horsepower, 90.6 I believe. What else can I tell you? The seat's low. I'll put a number on the screen now, but yeah, definitely very low. For shorter riders, you'd be able to flat foot this bike easily and move it, maneuver it around the garage. It'll be a piece of piss. So yeah, don't be put off at all by this if you're looking for a bike you can flat foot. It's got so much torque, actually. Really nice surge of torque. I imagine it'd be quite easy to wheelie on this machine, because I can just feel the front wheel skipping then. I have to put my weight over the front to stop it raising up. I like the dash, you know, it's really easy to read. It's quite bright sunlight at the minute. And I like that, you know, you can change things up with the kind of styling of everything. It's got a very positive feel to the handling. Tractor! Alright, so I've turned the bike around. I'm heading back towards the dealership. What do I think of this bike? I think it's fantastic. I think for the money, you can't go wrong. You know, for the value you get out of this bike, it's really good. You know, you've got all the modern features that you'd expect from a more expensive bike. You know, you've got your TFT dash, you've got different switchable traction control modes, you've got ABS, you know, it's got wheelie control. You know, forgive it, some of the cost saving areas like the switch gear, it's not going to be the best in its class at that. You know, they've got to save money somewhere to be able to put such a feature-rich platform together. Oh, come on, kiddie, don't go across the road. The suspension feels really plush. It is a little bit bouncy on the back end, but I am a heavier rider, so it's probably set up for the majority rather than for everybody. It does make up for that in how torquey it is, and it just sails over the bumps, so you know, that's a definite positive there. You know, it does soak up the mid-corner potholes quite well. For a 2-cylinder parallel, it's got a lovely soundtrack. I can definitely say that. It feels compliant. What a great stretch of road to try it out on as well. It's definitely putting a smile on my face, this bike. And it's not just the weather and the twisty road. I think this bike has something that a lot of bikes don't. It's just got character. It's a quirky little character, but it's got a character. Now, in terms of the looks, I'm not overly impressed with the looks. Standard Honda CB kind of look to it. I do prefer it to the older one. I'll give it that. It's almost got this kind of, like it's trying to be a KTM look about it. And if that's what they've gone for, I think they've done a good job of emulating the hooliganist kind of feel to this bike. It's not a Duke. Don't misquote me there, but it's definitely got a bit of attitude, and I like that. Would I get it as a beginner bike? Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. This isn't too powerful. It's definitely got enough power to have fun, decent enough brakes to slow you down. It handles nicely, and it's got all the bits and pieces to you know, get you back in line. So yeah, go for it. If you're looking for a first big bike, yeah, this is a decent option. You know, this category of bike, you know, this bike here is in the category of you know, middleweight naked. So your contenders are really your Triumph Trident, MT-07, maybe, no, you couldn't put the Duke or the Street Triple in there. It's a different class of bike, really. But yeah, decent bike overall. I like it. Thumbs up. Yeah, one thing I have noticed is you do need to be shifting a lot to keep it in the power. That torque seems to be only in a very narrow range of the engine. Like, yeah, it's gone towards the top. It just kind of tails off a little bit. It's got a real nice torque you know, low down mid range, but yeah, you want to short shift it to keep it in the power. That's not an issue. It's just a characteristic of the engine, really. You know, I'm in 4th gear now doing 27. One thing is brilliant about this bike, the fueling. You know, there's no snatchiness whatsoever. It's really smooth, and that also means if you're a newer rider, it's also going to smooth out, you know, little mistakes you make with the right hand on the throttle. So I think definitely a very nice bike to ride, and an easy bike to ride. On value, this bike is going to get a 10 out of 10. This is a lot of bike for your money. A lot of bike for your money. All the electronics package, the TFT dash. It's a great value bike, if not the best value bike in this category. So 10 out of 10 on value. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. My little test ride on the Honda CB750 Hornet. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It's yeah, it really helps my stats. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, you know, do leave a comment. But most of all, thanks for coming on and watching, and see you next time. Filtering is quite easy on this bike.